Thank you again for having me. Would like to ask several questions, not much. There are 6 to 7 questions that I would like to ask to you. The first one, probably you can have what do you do right now, and for how long have you been already in this industry?
Okay, so thanks for having me, Bu Lucia. So my name is Hafidz, right? So I'm a medical doctor by degree, by the way, and it's been my 6th year to switch my career in health tech, so healthcare technology field. The company that I currently lead is Naluri.life. So in Indonesia, we call it PT Naluri Hidup Indonesia.
Okay.
The company based in Kuala Lumpur. And we started our operation in Indonesia basically about 2-3 years ago. And what we are doing right now is focusing more on pioneering preventive medicine. So we want to prevent people from getting sick by doing prediction model.
I see.
So we evaluate healthcare data and we predict employees or individuals that will most probably get sick, and we prevent them. We prevent that from happening. So that's basically what we are doing right now. At the company, my current position is as managing director / country lead. I led a team of not that much, 25 to 30 people in specific for Indonesian market.
I see. Okay, excellent. Wow, interesting industry. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's now become more what is it, innovative in the healthcare. Yeah. Okay. Since we are going to talk about the future of our people, especially in Indonesia, I would like to ask about what are your key challenges that you have had right now in managing the team?
Okay. So I am 33 right now, and half of my team is 20.
Wow.
So I think the gap should be not that far, but in terms of culture, all the leadership team on my board, on my team, is actually experiencing similar experience, right? So we think that we understand our team, but at the end of the day, because the generation gap is there, then we feel that we are not really understand their work habit and their challenges and stuff. So in my company, we always try to understand our people better, and for that reason, we try to know what problem exists in the 20th generation, right? In the Gen Z generation. So it's all about option. It's all about decision. When we were young, we only have like 3 to 5 television channel that we can watch, or some of our leadership team is like 40s or 50s, and they only have TVRI back then, only one channel. So they don't have to make decisions if they want to get entertainment.
Yep.
Right now, even in Netflix, YouTube, you get a lot of decision.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, we see that this generation, because of tons of decision, flow of information, they are never feel enough. Because they always have the sense of FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
If I work with this company, with my company, is the best option for me, or can I get better options or better deal outside? And that's the main challenge, I guess, from me and also my leadership team right now, to understand that, to accept that half of our team is quite different in terms of culture with us, and to react accordingly to prevent that from happening.
Okay, excellent. Okay, since you are talking about culture differences between the generations, how what are the how critical, I mean, how critical is the culture of the organization to make your business, especially in the healthcare, to be stand out among the competition?
I think right now I would say the role is very important and very crucial. Because what's good about managing people right now is you have tons of benchmark if you want to dig in. And there are a lot of research that connect burnout with job satisfaction, burnout and psychological distress. And all of this related with the culture of the company. Because as I said, what makes people not comfortable is because their environment. And it will impact their job satisfaction. It will then trigger burnout and psychological distress. And all these three, based on research, is related with your employees' productivity. If you can manage it. So I believe it is very important. Even I read research back then, and actually I did my MBA thesis on the relationship between burnout, job satisfaction, and also psychological distress.
Okay.
And there are tons of clear relationship between all of these three. For that reason, I believe company culture is very important. And it's something that we cannot deny.
Okay. How do you build the culture that is what is it, create an environment that is positive to the employment?
Well, actually, most of our business leader right now think that working with vendors, working with different companies, working with psychologists to build their culture is the first thing to do. But in our company, we believe that it should start on the leadership level. When you want to build your build your culture, you have to start with your relationship with your team. As a leader, right now we cannot really have our own room, like separate fancy room where people have to book your schedule just to get in, because it will really create that barrier that our Gen Z employees really hate, that hierarchical approach. Right? So yeah, what our main strategy in Naluri is we have to make sure that all the leadership team is approachable. We have to be there working with them, having lunch with our team, doing one-on-one. So again, in Naluri, we always believe that one-on-one should not discuss about work. Because you can discuss about work anytime, like at the office. But during one-on-one, we want to make that personal connection with our team. Right? We want to understand their problem. We want to view our business and our client from their point of view. So that's what we are doing right now. Beside another initiative, so our company actually face a problem when we want to submit our company regulation to the Ministry of Manpower, because our company have unlimited number of leave.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, and it's not something that, from the government point of view, it's not something that they usually face, right? Usually the company will negotiate how to reduce the number of leave. But in our company, we believe that when we hire an employee, the employee should fit our culture. And our culture, we don't want to be the ruler. We want to make regulations. But we want to share our culture. And in our culture, we believe that people will have their own problem. People will need their own time. People can decide because they are mature. We are all mature in the workforce, right? Consider as mature at least. And for that reason, we believe that you can manage your own time. And so far, it went very well. Our annual number of leave that people took is 15 to 20. So I think it's not very far from the government standard, like 12 days of leave permitted per year, and we get 15 to 20, even if we say it's unlimited.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. So they have their own limit. They limit themselves. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. What's yeah.
And what's unique about this approach, it's you can actually track your employees' performance better, because in people management, we are very familiar with presentation. People show up to work because they have to, not because they want to. And the productivity level from presentation is very low. So in our company, we believe that if you don't want to go to the office because one reason or another, then you can just stay home. You can take your leave. But when you are at the office, then you will be 100%. And we get that, at least we get that insight right now on when people are ready to work, whether they need sometimes break and stuff. Yep. Very interesting.
Very interesting culture. How do you manage the productivity with those kind? Because you mentioned that with the freedom, even the productivity is still very high. How do you make sure that? Because some people will say, "Oh, I have a freedom. I can be free to not to deliver as well."
Yep.
So how do you manage that?
Okay. So in a smaller team, we did regular check-in and check-out. So even you are home, you work from a co-working space, because in our company, at our office, we provide access to co-working space. So you can use any co-working space around Jakarta. And check-in and check-out is very important, because it's not to control people, because it's not mandatory, but you can get, or you can share any challenge or any support that you need during the check-in and check-out time. So we do early in the morning and also late in the afternoon. And that'll be one thing. One-on-one is very heavy culture in our company as well, to make sure that people understand each other better, and also understand their leadership team and know what their leadership team want to do with the company. So when they know what the company want to do or want to achieve in the whole years, we expect our team can manage their own time accordingly based on the target. Because most of the big, especially bigger company, right? Our company is quite small, so it's something that we can manage. But I believe in a bigger company, most of the employees don't really know what the company want to do in the whole year. So when we want to expect them to work on their own, it will be quite hard, because they don't know where to go. Right? That's what we are trying to prevent in our company. So even if they took 20 days of leave or more, but at the end of the day, they know where the company is heading to and what role does we need to does we expect from these employees, and for that reason, then we expect he or she can act accordingly based on the role expected and also the long-term target.
Wow, keren nih Pak ya, excellent. Yeah, what is your advice to a startup like you? I believe that's a startup with a unique culture, with employing very young, dynamic employees, Gen Z. What is your advice for the company that to grow like you, because you have a unique and growing very fast?
So first thing that I want to suggest to any startup leaders, especially in Indonesia, is to understand your team better. This is very important, because we only able to work in a smaller setting, right? In a smaller team. And when you don't understand your team, you know what you have, and you know how to use these resources that you have. So that we'll start with that. And the second one is learn, because all of this generation need different approaches. So keep learning. Everything change. Everything is not similar, or you cannot say that I want this approach because my boss previously used this approach and it works. Because with the current generation, with the generation gap, with the FOMO culture and stuff, we need different approach, mostly even to different person.
I see.
And this is the only strategy that I believe, at least for now, for me, could help me to manage my team better, and could give me an insight on how to utilize my team better as well.
Excellent. If you would like to start your journey again from the scratch, what will be the things that you will do differently?
In my I think I don't really consider or think that I have to do something differently with my past, because from my side, I want to focus on my future. As one of my founder in my company always said that what is the most important thing in startup, right? From his side, it's speed. So instead of focusing on what happened in the past, what mistake that you made, focus on what new approach that you want to test it, evaluate it, and leave all of those mistakes behind. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Always move fast. Yeah. Move fast is the key. Okay. What is your company, Naluri, will be heading in the future? What is your vision?
Okay. So in a nutshell, we want to change the way healthcare is delivered by pioneering preventive medicine. Because we know that chronic disease is on the rise. We are expecting, especially in Indonesia, we're expecting fun fact, not very fun fact. 1 out of 3 person in Indonesia is impacting from chronic disease. 1 out of 3 is a crazy number. Not everyone aware of it. And we know that when people get impacted from chronic disease, it will also give a negative impact to the company or the employers and also the family. And when we track back what happened with all of these people with chronic disease 20 or 15 years back, it's strongly related with their mental health condition. It makes sense, right?
Yep.
When you are stressed, depressed, you have anxiety, then you will eat less or more, or you will sleep less or more. And that will really impact your physical health, especially when we are talking about chronic disease like diabetes, hypertension, obesity. And that's what we want to conquer. We want to prevent that from happening. When we get all of those prediction model, we know which employees or which individual need more support compared to the rest, then we can focus on the employees who need it more instead of focusing on all employees. Yep.
That will be interesting. Focus on prevention, which not many, which I know, and probably there is none. Yeah, for this time being, is more on the curative part rather than preventive. So very interesting, Hafidz. Is there anything else that you would like to convey before we end, because it's the time is limited? So anything else that you would like to?
Yeah, I think my last statement on the company culture is about delivering the vision of the company is very important as well. Because in Naluri, it's not about our product, but it's about the problem that we want to conquer, right? The problem we want to solve. Because our product, our approach could change along the way based on the generation, based on the technology. But when we can share with our team what we want to do, what the problem that we want to solve, even if we have different product every year, they will understand, right? There will be no resistance because they know that we are here not to sell a product, we are here to solve this problem. We want to make this impact. There's also another closing statement that I want to share.